You can barely hear that generator. I wish you'd turn it off. But this is, they'll be calling you radical. This is a phenom out here. Always been. There's a lot of people live out here. In the morning, he just goes mad. We call it the Fremont 500. In the evening, he's just mad. During the day, everybody's at work, everybody's gone. This place becomes still quiet. These were Artesian Wells 10 years ago, and you can hear the children playing in the old West Weber Elementary, the old Frank Lloyd Wright, Leslie Hodson Museum, the only prairie style left on earth. You can hear the children playing in the yard for literally miles away. It used to be the sound of tundra swans right here. I have videos. Of course. Growth for the sake of growth. I used to walk to school. That's my house right there behind the blue door. My great-great-grandma's house, northern Denmark, the first school in western Weber County. In Weber County. She donated it to him. His name is Christian Anderson. He walked across the plains pushing a handcart. I walked to school. My mom's house next door. My dad, who died so young of cancer, nuclear and hepatic tessae. There's my incredible house I built in the spirit of Van Gogh's father's house. It was red and green, and well, I built it with cash. It was a magnificent masterpiece. They took it away from me illegally. I built it with cash, with my own hands. It was grand. I tore it all to hell. They took it away from me illegally. I asked, President Bailey called himself president. Fuck. Christian, I don't think so. I says, what about, there was 4 giant mosaics. There was this incredible stained glass with these wreaths with these blue herons. What'd you do with those mosaics? I put literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hours into them. Giant ones, 4 of them. What's a mosaic? The church used to be red brick there that I grew up in. And it had this incredible stained glass, and you could see whoever built it and put it together did it. And they used to do their sacrament meetings in the afternoons, late afternoons on Sundays, when the sunlight would beam through those stained glass and those hand-carved big wood the pulpit. You should have seen it. It was incredible. Why would they tear it down? The Leslie Hodson Frank Lloyd Wright Prairie Style, the only one on earth, masterpiece. Fucking mass imported tiles all over from Italy. I mean, it was like going to school in a museum. The school lunches in there, people from the community, was the best meal. It was like beyond gourmet. My aunt was a cook. It was unbelievable. They tore it down, built a cinder block piece of shit. They tore down the church and built it. I used to do a lot of work for the church. I used to restore a lot of buildings. I did tons and tons of restoration. In fact, some of this dirt that's right here along here, in fact, I was actually moving some of that when I got cancer, came from the old tabernacle in Ogden. They had looking for a place to put it, and they put it right there, and I was digging through it, finding all kinds of shit. That's right when I got cancer 11 years ago. I was given 2 months to live. What a phenomenon. Now that's what we get. No water. Literally, Sundays you can hear the children in the schoolyard 5-6 miles away. There's no silence anymore. There's no serenity. Having a picnic before it's all gone. So I used to walk to school every day right there. I remember 1971. That's the same day I got sick, was October 13th in 2011. My mom bought me a little transistor white radio because I liked the Orioles. I loved baseball. I adored baseball, and that's when the World Series were during the day. So I would sneak out the yard, come down the canal, holding hands with Everett Ruess and go to my mom's house. I could see down the canal if her car was there. And go home and watch the World Series. So my teacher had a talk with my mom about it. So my mom bought me a little white transistor radio. My teacher says, you can listen to it at school. We'll even put the game on TV. I remember when Dave McNally, Pioneer League. I got to watch Dave McNally play right here in Ogden. You know, he's still the only, he's dead now, the greatest athlete in Montana history. You know, he's the only pitcher still to this day to hit a grand slam in the World Series. What? The playoffs haven't even started yet, and it's what day today? That was the 13th. I was 10. What happened? That's what happened. Drowned it all out. Why? Why? Tear down the big Buddhas, having a picnic. There is no sound of silence anymore. Drowning out the serenity. Never ends. Why? Build it up, tear it down. Build it up. Building houses with no occupancy permits because there's no water. These were artesian wells. This flooded just 10 years ago. That's basin right there. I have the first chairlift ever, 1941, put right before the war. It's hanging in my yard. There's basin, there's Powder Mountain right there. That's the Paramount Picture logo. Willard Peak. It's jagged cliffs. My grandpa's freaking sand pit. Abraham Hunsaker IV, the whitest, purest sand in the world. Lewis Peak. Mount Ogden. Farmington Peak. Sound of jackhammers. Destroy Kevin Blanch's masterpiece house. Tear down the incredible old masterpiece church. Tear down the Frank Lloyd Wright, Leslie Hodson Museum. Tear down the big Buddhists. Why? Drain the marsh. First school in Weber County, Ingram E. Mickles, something rotten in New Denmark. The road to nowhere. Fucking jackhammer. Don't go retrieve the ball, Johnny. That's the new water well. When they're drilling the well there, they want to go 1,200 feet down. 1,400 they were looking for. They'd get about 600, 700, 800, and they'd hit this sheen of freaking salt plate. And it would just shatter the bits. They used every bit. They had every freaking, the best bits in the world they'd bring in. Shattered them. Just shattered them. That aquifer has dropped so radically. Just in 10 years. Serenity. No sandhill cranes. No Canadian geese. No ducks. No jackrabbits. No meadowlarks. No red-winged blackbirds. Where are they all? They were here 10 years ago. I want to get these videos before it's all gone. I know it's a lot of content, but that's okay. Before it's all gone. I've always been fascinated with sound. Heard a meadowlark. Where's the muskrats? Where's the jackrabbits? Where's the tundra swans? Where's the Canadian geese? The symphony. Where's the mallards? Where's the pintails? Where's the coots? Recess is over. Lunch used to be so good in there. My aunt was the cook. My uncle was the janitor. He retired from there. And they used to, this was the last scratch kitchen in northern Utah, was in that school. I asked my kids about it. My dogs used to follow my kids up to school. People used to come in from the community. Bob Penman used to donate all the beef to it. Oh my God, those meals. It was all hand-cooked scratch. Homemade rolls, homemade everything every day. The food was incredible. Oh, those peanut butter bars make you cry. Roast beef, mashed potatoes, and gravy like 2 times a week. People used to come from the community to eat in there. That didn't go away till about 2000. It was the last. I remember all the cooks came over one day to see my house when I was going to build it. I agree, they just walked over. They had a whole team of incredible cooks. It was the last scratch kitchen in northern Utah, was West Weber Elementary. People used to come from all over the community just to have lunch in there. It was 5 cents. That's if you didn't have any money. They didn't care. The Peary used to sit right there. Mike Hancock burned it down when he was a kid on accident, but that was the co-op. We had co-ops all over this town. My grandpa ran the church welfare farms. We had them all over. My grandpa ran them. The Hooper Irrigation Canal, my grandpa was the president of it right there. Leonard. He ran it. I grew up picking. I grew up hoeing. I was a picker. I grew up a farm kid on produce farms. And everybody in the community would just go in, and you get whatever you needed whenever you needed. It was all honor system. They didn't care what denomination of church or everything. Right there used to be the Austrian Hosting Center. It was in disarray. 12th Street wasn't there. Right there. The Austrians came here through Superior, Wyoming to here for Del Monte to raise tomatoes. Then the prisoner of war camp was right there. Right above there for the Italian prisoners. So I remember my friend Alfonso Dominguez, his dad was a POW. A lot of them were POWs. They would have dances, and they would cook, and people from the community used to come. A lot of women married those guys, and they stayed. But Del Monte co-op to raise tomatoes. This was all tomatoes. Oh my God, the tomatoes here, the produce here. Oh, my dad was a famous organic farmer. Everybody called him Digger. His potatoes. Oh my God. Our family garden was 20 acres. My mom, this beautiful pinup artist, with her hair pinned up on her head. She was incredible. Vargas himself, La Jolla, Brigham City, Utah. A tennis player in her pink 1948 custom made. They met on Washington Boulevard. La Jolla girl, the pinup artist at Woodbury, with her hair pinned up. Vargas used to say not only could she draw like a camera, she could be her own model. There she is canning this time of year. That's all they did. Can the fruit. My grandparents up there, there was fruit all along that make the desert bloom. That's what these people did. The days are all so far gone. Their cotton pin dress, print dress, with their hair pinned up, canning tomatoes, canning my dad's potatoes, bottling the fruit. Oh my God, what food we had. Had a freezer from the biggest freezer you ever seen. Go downstairs, Kevin, get a package of those T-bones about that thick. 6 of them. Fry them up with his Anaheim peppers he would grow. Sit there and eat all 6 of them. As organic as it gets. Walk to school every day holding hands with Everett Ruess. October 13th, the day I got sick. October 13th, 1970, Dave McNally hits a grand slam. The only pitcher to ever hit a Pioneer League guy. I used to sneak out of the school and come home because I liked baseball so much I could see if my mom's car was in the driveway. If it wasn't, I'd sneak home and watch the game. World Series were during the day. I was an Orioles. I was an Oral Weaver guy then. Dave McNally. Only pitcher in the history of baseball to hit a grand slam to this day. So I'd walk home holding hands with Everett Ruess. Teacher had a talk with my mom about it, so my mom bought me a little white transistor radio. Teacher says, you can listen to him at school, Kevin. Or you can put it on TV. After the boys of summer have gone. The end of organic Western Weaver County. What happened to Kevin Blanch's house? The thing was so grand. What a piece of art. What happened to that incredible red brick church? What happened to the Frank Lloyd Wright, Leslie Houghton Parish style freaking elementary school? What happened to the artesian wells? What happened to the great flyway in the great marsh? Next thing you know, they'll cut the tops off the peaks of the mountain. Oh, they already gouged it. My grandma used to go crazy about that gouge in the mountain right there. He would know. He did it. Up there in Brigham City, the whitest, cleanest, purest sand in the world. I was a plaster. I have scars all over my body from that sand. I grew up in that pit. Adobe. The bar towel that's on my dad's house, this green, blue, red bar towel you see all over, it's not cooked in a kiln. They would make it right in that pit. I grew up making it. They'd mix it to plaster, put it in forms, put it in the ground, and adobe it. Just let it sit there for a year or two, then pull it out, shake it, and put it on roofs. It's on my mom and dad's house to this day. You can still see straw stabbed in the roof of that house from when the tornado hit right there. Tornado ripped through our barn, tore it in two. It sat there like a Salvador Dali with the center. Ripped through that house. Eugene, who died of that tragic of a cancer, it's 38 years old. The end of organic Western Weaver County. Where's the kids' voices? Recess is over. It's lunchtime. Oh, you seen these school lunches anymore? Oh, they're disturbing. They're disturbing. What have we done to our place? Traded it all in for cars. What have we done to our place? I know these are long videos. I don't care. It has to get done before it's all gone. There he goes. Where's the red-winged blackbirds? Where's the tundra swans? It's October. Where's the gray flyway? Where's the Canadian geese? Where's all the ducks by the fan? What happened? Where's the artesian wells? Where's the meadowlarks? Where's the jackrabbits? Where's the muskrats? They were here 10 years ago. I have videos right there. I don't care how long these videos are. I want to get them before it's all gone. What happened? Kevin Blanch walking to school in that Frank Lloyd Wright, Leslie Houghton freaking museum. The old Hawk store in ruins right there. The old pumps and everything was right there. You'd walk by it to primary. That red brick freaking masterpiece. Kevin Blanch is incredible. Something rotten in the New Denmark. Van Gogh. What happened? They found Everett Ruess's body. You know they found it. The myth is over. The romance is over. They found it. Not long after he came up missing. He was killed. indigenous native put a rock to his head. He was found, his body in a cave, and they knew the whole time they kept it secret. The Utah romance is over. The Utah romance, most romantic place in the world. Most romantic place on earth. Most romantic place on earth. So this community's had so much tragedy, you don't even want to know. Oh, here we go. Glad I kept going. There's the birds. Stiff wingers. Oh, wings we will pretend, because that's what war pigs' dreams are made of. And in the end, our wings we will pretend. Love comes walking in. Sleep and dream is all I crave. I've traveled far across the Milky Way. To this cancer master I became a slave. Till we meet again some other day. Silence sleeps as loud as one. Earth returns to what it will never return to what it was once before. All my dreams are strange, nothing feels the same. Love comes walking in. The most romantic place on earth. I gotta grow up in it. It's over. It's over. Where's that? What happened?